Wow, if you clicked on this, you must be like severely bored or something, because I'm just posting this on YouTube, and this is just a trial run of just something that I thought would be fun to rant on stuff that's been going on. Well, let me introduce myself. I'm Noah. This is one of the first YouTube videos I'm doing where I'm actually talking and I'm not like just silent in the background or playing a behind the scenes role, if you will. And this was a suggestion by a couple of my friends yesterday after doing a little bit of ranting on life. Their suggestion was to just start making random YouTube videos and like just rant on stuff. Today's topic is going to be, I'm turning 21. It's actually my 21st birthday. So I've got 5 questions here that people just want to know what's going on, nonsense. First question is like, what's it like being 21? Honestly, it's not that different from being like 20 or 19 or 18. The biggest difference here is everyone's like, oh, you can buy alcohol. That's it. And that's not even a cool reason to like be. It's not the excitement that I'm having here. Like, what you're seeing is not from that. The second question people have tended to ask me that I think is worth noting is, what have you done or what are you doing? Like, what are your plans to like celebrate this? It's a monumental birthday, lots of excitement. I'm telling you, I didn't really throw a party. I'm not throwing a huge party. I'm just hanging out with friends, being crazy, telling silly stories, which is kind of how this is getting started with this video and ranting. Just nonsense. I don't even know how to explain it. Third question being, what would you recommend or stuff that you would recommend doing for when you turn 21? Now, I've been thinking about this for a while. I've had like most of the day to like kind of contemplate it, if you will, and I've come up with a few good ideas. But really, I'm just gonna suggest to you, just straight up, just grab a bunch of friends. 6, 7, 8 people. Just friends, and just go do something fun. Like I myself, like I said, we went to a show and then we went and hung out like at the park, and we had ice cream and nonsense, and we told random stories about cops or ridiculous things or stupid things that have happened to us in high school or since we've started college. I told my favorite story about cops on bicycles, or getting stopped on a bike by a cop, which is basically the story of me almost getting a ticket for speeding on my bike. Didn't know you could do that here my first year of college. It was kind of a shock, surprise if you will, but it made for some fun laughs later because my FHE group got it on tape. So good times. Our fourth question is, what did you wish for your birthday? And that's a really hard question to answer. I didn't really like ask for a cake or nothing like that, so I didn't really like do the birthday candles and like, oh, I wish sort of a thing. I kind of, like I said, hung out with friends. We did some cool stuff with just having fun. I'm not really big on cake. To be honest with you, I'm more of like a brownies or a pie person. That probably sounds weird to all of you, or some of you have known me for a while. It's like, oh, it doesn't like cake? Weird. But in all seriousness, it's just not a big deal to me. But yeah, so I guess if I could wish for something besides like, the things I got, like my friends were really cool. They like took me out, one of my roommates gave me a hat, we got, that was funny. We went to the local supermarket and we got root beer because we live in a dry town, so oh gosh. But yeah, I guess something I wish for, I guess, is like, I don't know actually. I don't really think about it. It's just not something I've like personally put a lot of thought into. If I had to give something out there though, I guess I would wish for like just be able to stay in touch with people. I guess Facebook and all that is cool, but I guess I would wish to be able to like be in better contact with, you know, people around me. You know, we're in college and people are coming, people are going, and you know, I'm one of the ones that will be actually going soon. I'm graduating the next year and a half or so and going on to graduate school. So yeah, I'd hope my wish would be, I guess, be to stay in contact with people. Question number 5. This is one of my favorite things to talk about. You know, I got a sweet tooth. It's cake. You know, like I said, I'm not a big cake fan, but you know, I do dabble. I dabble. And I would say that my favorite cake, which is the question, is what is your favorite kind of cake? Is probably chocolate or chocolate fudge. You know, I don't really like get into like cake though as much as like pie. I love pie. It's crazy how much I like pie. Or like brownies. Like if you make me a batch of brownies or like a pie, like particularly apple, I'm basically like gone. But yeah, one of the cool things though is, you know, my friends didn't, I guess, give me a cake, but instead, you know, someone gave me, I can't remember who. It's just terrible, just a terrible thing. But you know, my girlfriend gave me a couple bags of M&M's, but someone gave me in my apartment, and I still haven't found out who. I guess, or I don't remember at least. It was kind of a late night last night. A huge bag of M&M's, and that was cool. So yeah. Just to get on with the rant though, you know, because that's probably what you've been waiting for. This hasn't really been the ranting part of the video, you know. Being 21, it's crazy. Like, you know, I look back in the last 21 years, you know, I've done a lot of things. I've done a lot of crazy things, fun things, particularly stupid things. You know, I've met a few cops. I know a few cops' names here. One of my favorites is Elder Jeremiah. He was an elder from like back where I'm from. He served in like my hometown for a while. You know, he's an officer here, and I ran into him the other week, and lo and behold, he gives out jaywalking tickets, and I thought I was being punked. I literally thought he was messing with me because I recognized him, not initially, but after a couple of minutes talking to him, I was like, oh yeah. But he's writing all this down. I'm like, so what are you writing down? He's like, I gotta give you a ticket. And I'm like, why? It's like, because technically you were jaywalking, and technically I stopped you, and technically, and I was like, technically that's a piece of paper, and if I'm going down for this, I'm going to ask you just one question. This is like my third moment of the week. You know, I get in trouble, but I was like, you know, he drives a smart car. You know, if you've seen cops, like, they give off jaywalking tickets or parking tickets, the city now gives them, and like, at least where I live, little smart cars, and they like putter around. You know, they don't go really fast, and they don't chase nobody really unless you're slow. But I had to know this. It's a smart car. It's got wee little lights on it. You know, they spin, which blew my mind. But the kicker here, basically, I was like, well, if I'm going down for this, then I gotta ask you, does this thing have a siren? And he goes, oh yeah, well, all cop cars have a siren. I was like, well, what does it sound like? Because looking at this car, you just looking at the size of it, it's tiny. I mean, if you've seen a smart car, it's maybe 3.5 feet across, and maybe 4 feet, 5 feet at best deep. You know, those aren't the specific, you know, specifications. So don't quote me on that. But it's tiny. It's a small car. Like, it's no longer than a motorcycle. You know, and I don't think it would even go, it couldn't even go as fast. So I'm like, you know, does this thing have a siren? He kind of looks at me and he, you know, rips me the ticket and goes, yes. I was like, what is it, you know, what does it sound like? Is it like, does it sound like a full-blown siren? I mean, I know it's not going to be a fire truck. You can't tell me that. It's not going to be like, but, you know, I'm picturing this, you know, in my mind, and it's like, in my mind, it's just going, it's just like high-pitched little things. It goes, no, sounds like a real siren. I was like, well, what's it gonna, you know, well, I gotta hear this. I mean, this is too much of an opportunity to pass up. What do I gotta do? He's like, I'm not gonna turn it on, Noah. And I'm like, come on, from me. You know, and I didn't get him to turn it on. And and I don't think I'll ever get to hear it, but I always have that mental picture in my mind from it, just like that sound, and that's good fun in itself. Other things have been going on, like here in the burg, if you will. Like, currently, let's just be honest, this last jab I've been here, time, we've done so much. We've jumped a bridge, we've done like all this crazy stuff, like within the apartment, let alone outside of it. Like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna like tell you the bridge jump in story, because that's the cool one. I mean, it goes right up there with like my cops on bicycle story, or doing other crazy things here in the burg. I even put this one up there with, excuse me, my talk on parents and children that I did last fall for a comedy show. It's just funny, because these things, I don't make these things up. Most of you have come to a couple of shows, seen me talk or rant a little bit. These are true stories, so this just makes it just funnier. But basically, we went to Monkey Rock this past semester toward the beginning, and the water's cold during the beginning of the spring, like frigid. So that's on my mind going there. I'm just like, oh man, it's cold. The other thing that's on my mind, is like, it's a 35 foot drop, when it's gushing water, and it's high level and not low. And it was high level, and usually it was pretty good. It's about a 30-foot drop, but that's still pretty high to me, As a dude that's afraid of heights, that's almost craziness. It's like, that'd be like the average Joe who's just like, I want to go skydiving. That's it to me right there. I could never like probably go skydiving just because of that. It's like, oh crap. But anyway, we get there, my roommates are jumping, my FHE sisters are jumping, we got other people from the ward, we're all having a good time. My bros are like, yo, you should jump, and I'm trying to work up a nerve, and honest to goodness, I don't get there. I just don't get there. We're there an hour, and I didn't jump, and that may sound crazy to you or anyone else in the room, but I just couldn't, and we're about packing up everything to leave, so go from the bridge to Monkey Rock or to go swimming and then head home. And, Austin like comes over and goes, my roommate, maybe you want to jump, man. I mean, this is your last chance. I've got stuff in my arms I'm carrying to the car. My phone is in one hand. I've got my towel, like shirt, and everything else in the other hand. My hat. Never going anywhere without that. And, I looked at him, and he was serious. He's like, you should do it, you should do it. And I was like, in a blind moment of stupidity, audacity, and complete, as my roommates put it, balls to the walls, I said, you know what? Flip this. And I dropped everything. I not even drop everything. I threw everything on the ground and just ran off, like, towards the bridge. Just full bolt, like, going, screaming bloody murder. I didn't choose the best thing to scream going down. I was like, just noise. I could have said something cool. I had just like been like, F it, and just ran. And I did basically like a half hurdle flip thing over the wall that's like on the edge of the bridge. Just went whoop, and dove. Just dove. Evidently, like, my refugee family was like ran after me, like looked over the bridge. I was like, holy crap! And they're going, I hit the water, and I didn't come up for a good 10 seconds because I penciled it. Like, if you've ever done a pencil dive, you know what I mean. Like, you just go, and when you're skinny like I am, and like not like there's not much to you, you just go down. You just like thump. So by the time I get back up, it's 10 seconds later. I'm way past like the point of the other side of the bridge and where you can get out. I'm like 23 feet behind that, so I gotta swim upstream. My roommates start yelling, screaming, and I get out, and I'm out of breath. And, one of my roommates is just like, that is the most balls to the walls thing I've ever seen, man. You literally just effed it and just, like, ran off the bridge. You are officially the hero of the day. Like, the only thing that could have made that better if we would got it on video, put it on YouTube, man. My response to this is like, yeah. And later on, I thought of this. It's probably good that I didn't think of this at the time. He's right. If we could have got it on camera, it would have been cool. I would have never been prepared to do that. But if we had, I embellished this a little bit. I told him, I was like, you know, if we had gotten on the camera, if we had a camera handy or something like that, I probably would have, I would have gone for the full hurdle and basically, you know, probably grabbed the nearest girl, kissed her, and then ran. Because if you could have got that on camera, shiz. That's just craziness. That's about all the ranting I'll do, because after that, there's not much eventfulness that happened in the semester. Like, crazy stupid. Like, I haven't had any cop experiences thus far. I mean, it's a summer session, though, so anyone knows what could happen in the next 7 weeks before we start school again. I will keep you posted. I'm hoping to do this on a weekly basis, if not bi-weekly. I don't know. It all depends on, like, how much stuff happens per week. You know, when I've got time between work and everything else going on, just having fun with friends that are still here. So, just pay attention to Facebook, you know, YouTube, subscribe if you can. I know that's like one of those silly things that people ask on YouTube. You know, I'm not big on it, but if you want, I love you for it forever. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off. I hope you enjoyed my little rant. Hopefully, I get to do this a little bit more as time goes on, and I hope you enjoyed it. So, until next time, you know, hide you count. I don't know. I got nothing. I got no cool. Oh wait, I got a cool saying actually. You know, this comes from I think I mentioned this. The Facebook event that I made. It's called Things That Make You Wrinkly. I mean, if you're gonna go down that path, you know, make the wrinkles count. I guess I don't know. It sounds stupid to me now that I say it outside my head. So I'm gonna go. You have fun. Enjoy your day. Don't do anything too stupid. If you do, make sure to get it on tape because I want to see it.